Hey guys, it's TJ here from Business Performance Coaching. I'm talking today with Calvin Coils of Young and Wildly Successful, and that's exactly what he is. How you doing, Cal?
Awesome, TJ. Thanks so much, man. So excited to have a chat.
Today we're going to see his journey over the last year and the growth that he's had as well, guys. And plus, you're going to get a couple of tidbits so what you can learn and implement into your business straight away, and how to take yourself to the next level. And that's what Cal is. It's about peak performance with business, and he's a coach as well. So, Cal, I want to ask you the first question. What made you choose the inner circle and help us help you?
Yeah, great question, TJ. I joined the Inner Circle because we had seen the great work that yourself and Liv had done over a long period of time, and we were really looking to take our business from sort of that early six-figure mark over to $1 million. And we said, look, the fastest way to get there is to find somebody that's already at that level or well beyond it, and then just scale it as rapidly as possible and learn from the very best. So we joined because we're looking for mentorship. We joined because we're looking for strategy. And particularly, we're looking at how to get ourselves out there and reach more people. We knew we were good at what we do, but we just needed to connect in on a broader way. And there's a lot of things you can do in marketing that don't work. We thought, let's go and find the best. So hence why we approach you.
Fantastic, man. Fantastic. And what was your situation exactly before joining the Inner Circle? Like, where were you in business? What was happening?
Yeah, so before joining the Inner Circle, we were doing around about, I think it was like 200, maybe 250. I think that's pretty much where we were at. But we'd hit a benchmark, we hit a bit of a threshold. We had a team of about 2 or 3 people working for us. And if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. And so we were dealing with a lot of different challenges in the business. We were trying to find new ways of reaching new marketplaces. We probably expanded too much too quickly, and we didn't have the pipeline of particularly leads and exposure coming through. And the marketing that we were doing was marketing that was leading us to getting, just getting us by, rather than having people calling us up. So it wasn't attraction-based marketing. We were doing a lot of marketing that was really just, as we call it now, like buy my shit marketing. And we were trying our best to get out there, but we just weren't reaching that many people. So in a numbers sense, we're doing about 250K on track to make that over the course of 12 months. And, we had a little bit of activity. It was more like a trickle of leads coming through. And we were really just sort of scratching our heads wondering, well, how do we get out there and reach more people? How do we do it a team? I was very much doing a lot of things in the business rather than being a business owner and stepping out of the business. And we were dealing with the challenges of trying to grow a new business, right? And this was obviously a lot of overwhelm and a lot of stress at times.
Fantastic, man. And what you just said then is, I heard something yesterday. It was a lot of people, when they're starting to grow businesses, they look at, okay, they have a goal of how can I double my business? And to double your business, If I told you, like when you were 250K or even 200K, and I said double your business, what happens is you think to the past and you go, what have I done? And to double my business, I just have to work double as hard. And do you think that's maybe where you were?
Yeah, 100%. And I got to the point where I was going, shit, people talk about double your business, and I wanted to try and make $1 million. So I was like, it was 4x the business. It's like, I can't work 4 times harder.
Well, that's the
there's
thing.
not that many hours left in the day.
That's the
thing.
So,
yeah, we were in a position where, yeah.
And when we look at it, it's like for you, you're on track to 10x that initial, even surpass that. So if I said to you back then, can you work 10 times harder? What would you say?
Mate, you got to be kidding me.
Or you'd be not in a relationship and you would probably not be sleeping at all.
Yeah.
So it's like we can work a little bit harder, right? But also when we look to the past and we say 2x our business, we look at what we did in the past and we try and optimize it and we do it a little bit better. But if we think of, and what we talked about at the very start is like we want to 10x this business, we have to look to the present and the future. So we have to innovate strategically, and that's what we're doing with the education-based marketing with the instead of the buy my shit. Do you think that dramatically shifted where you're at?
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's important for people watching the video to understand that it dramatically shifts where you're at. It dramatically shifts where the business is at, but it doesn't happen overnight. And it's important to understand that. Like, we've been with the Inner Circle now for 12 months, and we made a big shift from buy my shit marketing to now adding incredible amounts of value. And it's important to understand that we reaped that result in 3 to 6 months. We saw immediate turnaround, but I knew that it was going to work because we'd seen Liv and TJ do this with business performance coaching for such a long time. So I knew it was going to work, but it's about executing that. So many people start something and go, oh, it's not working straight away. The reality is You don't build a brand of trust overnight. It takes time, it takes consistency, and it takes a willingness to add more value than your customers would ever expect. And we definitely got a return from doing that. And now we're getting people calling us all the time where we don't have to do as much, but in fact now we're doing even more because we know it's working.
Exactly. I'm sure the lead quality is a lot better because you're more experts in the field now as well, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
What did you
Absolutely.
like most
Cost
about?
goes down, all the rest of it.
What did you like most about the IC?
Look, what I like most about the IC was the ability just to have high-level insight at the moment of making a decision. And what I mean by that is, if you're putting together a marketing campaign, if you're launching a new territory, maybe you're launching a new gym, for example, or you're getting out there and you're about to make a serious strategic decision that could result in hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars of revenue for your business and profitability and impact. The ability to have somebody at that moment in time, the moment of saying, yes, we're ready to go with this, just to look over it. Having the ability to then share that with a group of 40 high-level business owners and say, hey, get some feedback. So before you launch, you've got that insight that could take you from 10% to 20% or take you from $100,000 to $1 million in revenue by doing the right thing at the right time. That was probably the most profound thing for me. And on top of that as well, the ability to learn how to deliver great quality to your marketplace, do it in a sophisticated way, to have a system and a process that we know works. And I guess above everything else, there's so many areas of our business that have huge levels of uncertainty. And what I get from the Inner Circle each and every week is certainty that I know if I do this, and I do this, and then I do this, that will be fine. In fact, that will be more than okay. We'll be making a huge difference. And you can't put a price on what that actually means. To have certainty in your business, particularly in relation to business growth, and to have that certainty comes down to the support that you get from Trav and from the...
I guess for everyone watching, it's like, the saying that gets used so much is, your net worth is your network. And I think, would you say that your network with the Inner Circle, with me and Liv and with the guys and everyone around you in our small pods that we talk to each other every 2 weeks, and do you think that network really is increasing your net worth?
Oh, 100%, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. When we were doing 250K a year in business, we were hanging around with people that were doing sort of, high double digits, and then some people that are doing six figures. And it was like, well, if we want to go to another level, we need to surround ourselves with people that are making more than that. And that's what the Inner Circle has done for us. It's been able to connect us with people that are doing 6 and 7 figures and 8 figures, and that are really pushing themselves. You either grow or you don't grow, depending on who you surround yourself with. And we're big proponents of thinking, well, who are we going to surround ourselves? Who's the 5 people in our corner that are going to push us to the next level? And you've got to make sure that you're surrounded by that. So 100% agree.
So everyone, guys watching, if you look at those 5 people that you are surrounding yourself with, as much as maybe said in the past, it is probably one of the most crucial things for you to dramatically change your business, because they will push you to the next level, and you're behind them. They're going to drag your ass along as well. Now, Cal, did you have any fears before you jumped into the IC at all?
Do I have any fears before I jumped into the IC? I think the biggest fear that I had before joining the IC, and I guess everyone has this fear as well, is, is it going to work? And, when someone has the idea that they go, well, I can see that you've done it, but can I do it? And one of the biggest fears that you have is, of course, every time you learn a new strategy, is will it work for your business? And what I realized very quickly upon joining the Inner Circle was that as soon as you see everybody else asking that question in the group, you're not alone. Everyone has this fear in business. But then what I realized very, very quickly is that it's actually the biggest reason that messes us up as business owners, is thinking that our business is somehow unique. Like somewhere, somehow, location, online, offline, whatever the bullshit story is, we think to ourselves, well, it might not work because it's slightly different. The reality is, one of the things that Travis, you're exceptional at, and that Liv's exceptional at, and the Inner Circle team's exceptional at, the whole support team, is getting you to understand that business is business. It doesn't matter if you're in a gym, it doesn't matter if you're a coach, it doesn't matter if you're a bricklayer, it doesn't matter if you're a real estate agent. Like, business is business. And the principles of business that will help you grow no matter where you are. Yes, you tailor it, of course, but fundamentally it's the same thing. So the fear that I had that I was going to be unique and somehow that what had worked for all these other people was not going to be able to work for me was momentary, because as soon as you get in there, you realize, holy shit, we're in a great group of people that know what they're doing, and there's no reason why you can't succeed if you do the work.
Yeah, most definitely. And that's a crucial thing. It's like And I want to try and, as people are watching this, I want to give you nuggets, right? I want to try and give you the nuggets that are going to take your business to the next level. So do you think that the stories that we tell ourselves that can sometimes actually hold us back? It's like, I'll tell you a couple of stories. One, I can't get leads, or I can't learn from that person because he has gyms. Like, then if you say I can't, then you never will. And what you said perfectly then is business. Or it's I can't get leads, my market is saturated. What do you think the end result would be if you said that?
Oh, well, you get nothing, right? And you'd probably be where you are right now. And if where you are right now isn't working, then you've got to ask yourself, are you more committed to being better or being right? And we say this to all of our guys. Are you more committed to being better or are you more committed to being right? You can be right and you can still be broke, unhappy, miserable, overwhelmed. Or you can be better and it means, you've got to go, hey, look, I'm not perfect. It means I've got to learn and I'm willing to invest into learning that. The reality is I always remember speaking to you, TJ, and talking about Inner Circle. And at that stage, my mindset was, this is such a big investment. And then I remember you turn around and say, it's cheap. I'm like, how would you mean it's cheap? And you said, bro, we're getting people to make $1 million in 12 months that didn't have a cent before. And I go, wow, okay, that's a whole new ball game now. And if you're coming from a PT space, right? Let me just make something clear. You're coming from a PT space and you don't join the Inner Circle, you're an idiot as far as I'm concerned. I don't run a gym, but I could run a gym after doing the Inner Circle because it's just paint my numbers. Now we come from a different industry, but what I've loved about the Inner Circle is that point that we come from a different industry, because when I think about running a business in another industry, I don't have the same stories that industry has, right? I come with a different perspective. And the benefit of being a business coach is that, and this is really what you get with the Inner Circle, you get business coaching and mentorship. And I think they're two different things. Coaching is I'm going to show you what you don't understand, and you've got your own blind spots, you've got your own stories, I'll help you work through those. Mentorship is just do what I've done, you'll get the same result. And so I get both from the Inner Circle. I get mentorship to grow a multiple 7-figure business, if not 8-figure business. And I also get coaching to tell me, Calvin, here's the bullshit story you keep telling yourself, or here's where you're holding yourself back. And this is the limitation of your mindset, because we all have it. Break through it using this strategy or this tool, this technique to get you to the next level.
Fantastic. And like, guys, for everyone watching this, like, these stories that we do tell ourselves are the most crucial things we need to change. Like, you need to be in the abundance mindset no matter what you're doing. So the abundance of, I can get as many leads as I want. I can make as much money as I want. I can help my staff as much as I want. I can help people change their fucking lives as much as we want. Like, we can do anything we want. And these stories we start to change who we are, start to change who our business is, and start to serve a greater population. So when you did join the Inner Circle, did you expect your business to change as much as it has?
Look, I always had big goals and aspirations, so I always wanted to get there as quickly as possible. Right? You know that about me, TJ.
Yeah.
But I guess I didn't expect it to be, and this is not to undermine the process of the hard work that goes into it, but I probably didn't expect it to be as seamless, or for want of a better word, easy as it has been. And I know that obviously can get misread, but the idea is that because it took so much from us to get to that 200, 250 mark, right? And we were putting it all on the line all the time, and it was draining. Like, I did 90 trips last year around the world. It was insane. So I go, I can't work any harder. And so to try and go to $1 million, I'll find a way to make it happen. But at the same time, you're going, shit, like, will I be alive at the end of this process, right? So I didn't anticipate for it to be as simple and as profound as it is, to be able to grow the business. I didn't expect that. What I did expect was to get there. I did expect, obviously, great results, and I knew we would get there together. But the biggest insight that I've been able to learn is that actually, hold on, it's really not that difficult. The hardest thing about it is just doing the work that most people don't do. And it's not that it's difficult. It's not we don't do it because it's difficult. It's because we don't do it that it's difficult. So I've found that sometimes the simplest answers are the best ones. And I think the gift that I respect the most out of the Inner Circle, and particularly the most that I get from you and Liv, is that you take what in our minds as business owners starting out is complex, and you simplify it. And when you simplify, it's no longer overwhelming. When you simplify, it's no longer stressful. And when you simplify, you actually just get shit done. A lot of times we make it more complicated to make us feel like we've got a bigger challenge, which is part of that blueprint, right? And you guys just have a very easy way of going, you want to make $10 million? Well, here's the simple formula. Just do this, this, and this. You're shit. If it was that easy, I would have done it already. Well, it was that easy already.
So looking at that, man, like we touched on it before, but where you were, obviously you're working hard. You couldn't imagine working 10 times harder to make 10 times as much. Right now, making,
No.
like we're going to talk about where you're at the moment, but right now, are you actually working less than what you're working before?
100%. 100%. We're working a lot less. I mean, I still do a heap of hours because I want to. It's my passion. But the reality is, if I want to take time off, I can take time off. The business isn't relying on me at this point. That if I don't work, the business doesn't grow. Obviously, the more I work, the more the business grows. And we're transitioning now in our second year with you guys to be able to do that. But the fundamental principle is like, if I don't grow, if I don't work, the business keeps growing without me. And so we've stepped more from being a business operator into being a business owner. And that's been a really profound shift because it means I've got more happiness and more fulfillment in life. And I get to enjoy more of the idea of actually having a business that makes a difference rather than just being so busy being busy, you never take time out for yourself.
Definitely, mate, definitely. And also, for yourself, how was that shift? And I know that a lot of people, whether they're in the fitness industry or the coaching niche or wherever you are, a lot of us are so stuck in being a business owner because we believe we're the star and everyone must come for us because no one can else come for anyone else. And I was like that. And I maybe have a feeling that you were a little bit like that. How did that shift go and how did that feel?
Yeah, look, I think there's a tendency that in order for you to get started and run your own business, you have to have a sense of self-confidence, call it arrogance, whatever you want, that says, shit, I'm good at what I do. Because if you didn't, you would never do it on your own. But it's funny because that same thing that gets you started is also the reason why it never gets you to where you want to go in the long term. Because, people in our industry build an entire business around that personal name. And the reality is that's great, but if you want to work for the rest of your life and never leverage your business and you never actually have a business, you just have a really high-paying job. That's pretty much what it is. You'll never really grow beyond that. So I was very much the same, and I'll be honest, I'm still like that to an extent because we know that what we do is so good, and I know that I can produce a result for the client. But what I'm also understanding as well is that we live in a world of such uncertainty, and I want to make sure that my legacy lives far beyond me. And in order to do that effectively, even though I'm only 25, we don't know how long we've got left. So I want to make sure that my business stays and keeps growing. And what we've created is a movement here, not just a business, it's a movement of people around the world that are changing lives, that are making a difference on the planet. So if we're going to do that, it can never just be about me. It has to be about something much bigger than that. It took a little bit of massaging, I have to say, from TJ to make that happen. But I think we've now got the mindset of going, look, every day that I'm spent working in the business, every day that I feel like I'm the star of the business and not having other people be that star as well, means that we're not making the level of impact we want to make. And if you have that story and you live from that place, you move very quickly to empowering others in a very powerful way to do what they do. And you can still do it. Here's the beautiful thing. If you're out of the business, you can still go in there and be the star when you want to be the star, but it's not relying on you doing that. And a business that's reliant on you to do something in a certain way ultimately results in a lack of growth.
So I think like what you're saying there is one of the crucial things is finding your unique ability because you know what your unique ability is. And you don't have to be the one traveling constantly. You might cut your travel down from, say it's 100% down to 25% to crucial unique ability travel and let other people do that, which lets your business grow faster, which lets you focus more on content, serving your market. And if you focus on unique ability, that is what's going to 10x your business. If you focus on not doing that, that's what's going to keep you where you are. Would you say that?
For sure. Yeah, 100%. We have a line that we implement now is, I'll only do the things that only I can do. I'll only do the things that only I can do. Yeah. And when you think about that, how many things are the things that only you can do? That actually is a pretty small list. If you're being very honest with yourself, it's a pretty small list. Now, there may be some things in your business that you have to do that only you can do right now. But if other person can get trained to do it, it means that you can expand out what they do. You can employ more people. You can make more of a difference. And then you can just do the things that you really want to do, not the things you have to do.
I definitely agree, mate. And I guess for yourself, do you think we have a big shift where 20% of the stuff you do gives you 80% of the result? Do you think you're more so only focusing on that 20% now, which is allowing you to expand, whereas before you may have been focusing on that 80%, and you had to slowly drop those things away so you can only focus on that 20 and grow that 20 to 40, grow that 20 to 60, 80%. So you're focusing on that, which is allowing your business to start to exponentially grow right now.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I think the big thing a lot of business owners do is they excuse activity with results, and it's not the same thing. And a lot of people are having a busyness, right, instead of having a business. And so, yeah, and the reality is, guys, I think I have to really stress at this point, anyone watching this video, you can't see, if you're a goldfish or you're a fish, you can't see that you're in water. The idea of why you would pay money to get coaching and support by someone that's been there and done it is not just for the strategy, it's the ability for them to tell you what you can't see in yourself or in your business. And that is the difference between having a very successful business and one that grows and sustains growth, and one that maybe has short-term success but then falls on a heap. There's a lot of business owners that get started and then it's a flash in the pan and it's gone. So for us, it was looking at, well, what actually are we doing? And then having someone say, actually, hold on, Calvin, is that really the 80-20? Are you really doing the 20% of things that are going to produce the biggest result? And then having a real discussion about that and going, actually, well, no, we're not. We're doing things that we shouldn't actually be doing in the first place that we can either delegate out or empower other people to do, or just delete it, but doesn't even have to get done. That itself is worth its weight in gold.
Fantastic. So anyone watching this, guys, I think one of the crucial things is like making sure you are focusing on the 20, and you might not be able to take that to 100% of what you focus on right now, but every month take that 20% to 30%, then you're 40%. And guys, in 8 months, you are the 100% on the 20% that gives you the 80% of the result. And the more you can focus on that and outsource and outsource and outsource, is the faster your business will grow and the faster you become business operator to business owner, because that is a crucial distinction. A business owner can scale their business and then sell their business down the track, or they can have the free time that they want, that they obviously Cal has. Now, I wanna ask you this one thing. Like, I guess, has the program been life-changing?
Yes. If you haven't picked that up by now, you haven't been watching. So yes.
Okay, fantastic. Now, I want you to get specific. You said you're about 250K. Now, as we sit right now, where are we seeing now in your business 12 months on?
As it sits right now, we are sitting at, in terms of what we're making currently as of today, about 1.2 million. However, with the strategy that we've implemented just at the start of this year already, there's no reason that why by the end of the year we can't hit well over $2 million, if not $3 million. So our plan in place at the moment that we're on track to meet will take us to around about $3 to $3.5 million in the next 12 months.
Fantastic.
So we've gone from 250 to 1.2. We did that in just under 10 months with the Inner Circle. We were able to hit $1 million, which was great. And now we're looking at 3.5x in that business, and we'll do it with ease. We'll go from 1 to 3.5 with so much more strategy and just confidence, which obviously comes with results. But having now a new strategy to take us to 3.5 million, and then from there in the next couple of years to hopefully hit 10, we'll do that with less work, less energy, less pressure, more fun than it took us to get to 250K.
Because like, just for everyone watching right now, guys, like, that's fantastic. 250 to 1.2 ish with growth still. We've added $1 million into your business. Now, the first 200K of a business, the first 250, 300K, that is pure hustle equity. And if you're making this right now, you can hustle as hard as you can. You can even hustle up to 400K. It's just working hard. Remember, to double, when you're seeing it 250, you can work double as hard to make double the money, but you're literally burning yourself out. To take that to $1 million, you need to strategically innovate. Okay, and then you're actually probably working less at $1 million when you're hitting the $1 million mark. Then you are hustling at the 200 to 300K mark. Now, when you're at $1 million, you would have moved from business operator across very more so towards a business owner mark. So taking yourself to from 1 million-ish up to 3 million to 4 million, that actually takes even less work. As silly as it sounds, the hardest work is at the start. It is the hardest. Then the second hardest work is saying, I need someone to model, because that's hard as well. So I don't know everything. It's like, okay, I want to model, and I want to have someone to coach and to help look at my business from different angles. That's the next hardest part. When you do that, bang, $1 million. And with the ideas that we have, and we talked about, Cal, and taking you to that $3.5 million, Do you see going from the 1.2 we're at now, 1.2, 1.3 we're at now, to 3.5? Can you see that how it's not even going to be hard at all? It's going to be a seamless rollout over the next year?
Oh, it's just going to happen. And it's going to happen just from the perspective of, we've added so much value to the marketplace. It's an inevitability. And we know it will happen. And the beautiful part about it is that, yes, you can have the best laid plan in the world, but most of planning is wasted by the time it gets to execution, right? We know this. But the benefit of having the inner circle is that once you've got the plan, first and foremost, you've got a critical plan, you feel confident about it, that's 80% of the result. If you execute a confident plan and you know it's going to work and you've had it mentored, easy. Then what happens is there's going to be things along the way that are going to mess up. People get sick, some people leave you. That's going to happen. That's business. Having the ability to then go, okay, shit, TJ, this happened. We're 80% through this plan. We want to get there, but this happened. How do we shift it and change it? Because when someone's gone from nothing, which is where TJ and Liv were, to then having a business that's multiple 8 figures now, to be able to do that, you've got to have the ability to go, okay, Calvin, just do this, do this, do this. And then that saves so much stress, saves anxiety, saves pressure, all that sort of stuff. So, we're very confident that we'll get to that mark. And I've got no doubt that within the next 2 to 3 months, we'll already be tracking at that $3 million mark. And by the end of the year, there's no reason why we can't hit, high 2 figures, high 2 millions, and then go from there. So, it's upwards and onwards. And the benefit of it is now you see all the pieces of the puzzle and you go, okay, great. Now it's just a matter of bringing those resources on board, which we have, and just managing the process.
Definitely. And I think like a great book to reference what we were talking about earlier is Malcolm Gladwell's Tipping Point, right? And it's like,
great book.
It's putting that education-based marketing. You can look at Tipping Point in anything you do, but the education-based marketing that we talked about, that's perceiving you as the expert. It didn't get much for the first, you got leads in the first 3 months, but it starts to pick up momentum. It starts to pick up momentum, and it takes so much energy to push it at the start that the tipping point is like bang. And then all of a sudden you start to flood as an expert. And that's why your business becomes easier and easier now for yourself, because your business is positioned as the expert. So the tipping point has came. You've pushed to 1 million, you're pushing to 3 million. So anyone watching this, guys, the crucial factor is that you must be perceived as an expert in your market. It's either being perceived as an expert or being perceived as the cheapest. That's the 2 ways of going. And I know most people don't want to go with being perceived as the cheapest. So it takes a little bit of time to get that ball rolling. It's like a space shuttle leaving the Earth. Over the first 3 miles, or is it 5 miles, takes 80% of the fuel and only 20% to orbit the whole way around the Earth and come back down. So that first 3 to 5 months is that 80% of fuel that you're just chucking out there, and then you got 20% left, and you've put in the hard work, you're still putting in work, but you're coasting around the Earth now and you're hitting your $1 million. As you coast around for the second time, we're hitting at 3.5. And because you knew that it was the tortoise or the hare, and you decided to be the tortoise for a little bit instead of being the hare.
Yes, and can I just give you a really great example about this? It's simple, but it's profound, and that is that we've been doing a lot of work in Australia, and we do a little bit of stuff around the world. But we decided that we wanted to launch the European market for us. So we're looking at London and Dublin. So first thing, it's like, okay, Trav, Liv, what do we do to launch the marketplace? Because you guys have done that before. So we've got the right strategy in place. And one of the things that we knew was that if we were going to do something in June, which is what we are, we're now filming this just before the beginning of June, we needed to start to build value into that marketplace. So since the beginning of the year, we've been adding value for the last 5 months, adding value to that marketplace, not asking for anything in return. We've then launched a series of events in the UK, and we sold out those events within 24 hours of launching it. We didn't have to do marketing because we already had added value to the community. And that will mean that we'll do over $300,000 in June, just from the UK and the Ireland marketplace over 2 events, which will take us to our biggest month ever, put us on track to do $3.5 million this year. Now moving forward, but we've done that because we've had a slow burning approach rather than going buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my shit. It's now we've added so much value, and when we come to buy, people are going, shit, I want to find out more about it. We've asked for media, all this sort of stuff. We haven't done anything. We've just been adding value. So doing the right thing at the right time and having a system allowed us to be able to now setting up for the biggest month of our business. And we're traveling around the world. I'm taking a month off the business. I'm doing 2 events, and we're going to potentially make more money than we have after the entirety of the last 2 months combined.
And exactly what you just said there, it's like venturing into new marketplaces. As you venture to one new marketplace, it's building the trust and it's making the sales. Now you can do that into another marketplace and replicate the same and continue to do that. And like I said, like you just have this carry-on effect that literally can change your business, change your life, and take yourself to the next level. So if you can recommend this to a friend, a colleague, a business, a coach, a PT, or anyone, what would you say about the inner circle?
Look, I'd say the inner circle isn't for everybody. I'd say the inner circle is for people that are in a position where they really want to grow. If you're not in a position where you want to grow your business by 10x, and even if you don't want to make $1 million, if you don't want to grow your business, this is not for you. The reality is that the inner circles are an incredibly supportive, like-minded, high-level program for people that are really looking to grow and make a difference in the world. If you just want to make a quick buck, if you want to be in a position where you want to coast through it, and if you expect just to be able to pay money and have it all done for you, that's not what this is about. This is about you stepping up and going, look, I really want to make things happen, and I want to be able to grow my business and surround myself with incredible people. If that's what you want, then I'd say do it. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, I would say do it. And if you're at a point now where you're going, look, I know that I want to go to another level, I need to make sure I invest and get the best, there's nobody else that I would recommend.
Fantastic, man, fantastic. And for anyone watching this today or anything like that, do you have anything we haven't talked about today that could help businesses? Or, we talked about Pareto's principle. We talked about education-based marketing. We talked about, 10xing a business versus 2xing a business. We talked about business operator, business owner. We talked about all these things. Is there anything else you want to share?
Look, the final thing I'd share is that we talk about a lot of this, and we've discussed this in dialogue before, Travis, and that is we say there's 3 things you've got to have to be successful. And it doesn't matter what we're talking about, relationships, health, business, doesn't matter. Let's talk about business though. You've got to have the right strategy. You've got to have the technical ability to execute that strategy. And then you've got the emotional drive to make it happen. And what a lot of people do is they go, I don't know what to do. And then they find out what to do and they don't know how to do it. And so you might know a lot of strategies, and the guys in the inner circle provide a heap of strategies that you can have a look at. And a lot of people will try to do that, but they'll mess it up because they don't know how to do it. So knowing what to do is important, and you get that from the inner circle. Then it's about knowing how to do it. And how to do it, depending on the industry that you're in. Obviously, there's so many resources, videos, weekly sessions, webinars, all the rest of it. They show you how to actually do the work. It's as simple as, like, I have a question, Travis will say, look, check this part of the inner circle page, and there's a video on it, right? So there's so much research and support to show you not only what to do, but then also how to do it. The final piece which you bring to the table, and obviously there's a lot of support in relation to Mindset, the program, is about having that drive and that hunger. If you want to coast at 250, if you want to coast at 100,000, then go for it. You don't need the inner circle to coast. But if you're really hungry and you want to make a bit of a dent in the universe, and you really want to make a difference, and you've got the fire in your belly, if you don't have the right strategy, and you don't have the ability, then you'll end up just hustling really hard and burning yourself out. But with the right strategy and the right training, and you've got the emotional mastery to go make it happen, no reason why you can't do 6, 7, 8 figures. It's just a matter of time and a willingness to get started. So I'd say that we get all 3 of those things from you guys. And if anyone's still thinking about it at this point, I'm just going to say do it. It's the best money you'll spend.
Fantastic, man. And guys, so this was, TJ from Business Performance Coaching, talking to Calvin from Young and Wildly Successful, talking about how he's gone from, 250K up past 1.2 million over the last 12 months inside the inner circle. He's working not now in his business as much and working more on his business, where it's growing without him. It's growing exponentially, and over the next year, you're going to see a video like this in 12 months' time, and it'll be exactly the same, but we'll be talking about 1.2, and we're going to be talking about 3.5. I'm pretty sure it's more going to be like about a 5 million, because we 5x'd over the last 1 year, and I'm pretty sure we're going to 5x over the next year inside the inner circle with you as well. And God, heaven forbid, the year after that, man, we were going from 5 mil to 25 mil. Then you can just be spitting out dollars down the bottom. So guys, thank you for watching this. And guys, a small call to action. If you do want to jump on a clarity call with myself or the team, we have a team of 3 guys that literally are all experts at what they do. Experts on email marketing, on copy, on Facebook advertising, on AdWords, on looking from business owner, business operator, looking at the sales strategies. We jump on a clarity call. We look at your business, we get you to fill out a form before the business, and we find 100K inside your business. And we talk about this 100K on the clarity call and how you can manipulate that. So it's not just a sales pitch. We don't do that. This isn't what the inner circle is about, because like Calvin said, it's not for everyone. So if we jump on a clarity call and the inner circle's not for you, I can't sell you into it because we have a tight-knit group of people that I can't bring someone in who isn't ready. But on the call, we find a minimum 100K. We tell you how to implement the exact strategies on how to do it. And if we choose that you can work with us and you choose that we can work together, then the inner circle is for you. But either way, you're going to walk off that call exactly what you need to do. It's just we make it stick. So guys, thank you.
Do it. Book the call.
Thank you for watching, and hopefully we talk to you soon. Thanks, Cal. I appreciate it.